Welcome to the shed. What's going on? It's been a little bit since I've done a live video here for you, but I have some things on my heart that I want to share, talk about today. It recognizes a lot in the title, which is it actually Wednesday? So I'm currently working on Mickey Singer's workshop of the Surrender Experiment. It's a fascinating book that he wrote. He did a workshop on it and released that as a book. And you can literally walk through some of my favorite teachings with him and really see what does it mean to surrender and what does it mean to understand the reality of things so that you can then go make good choices, right? That are based on what's actually happening. So let's start with the first question. Is today Wednesday? So I'm gonna present a little math problem for you. I'm gonna put my board up. Hold on a second. Okay. Something I got fascinated back a while back, and before I dig into that board, is what's actually happening? That is my favorite question to ask myself when I wake up, right after I understand who it is that woke up that day. What is life like right when I wake up so I can get myself centered in what I call, you can call it either your seat of consciousness, your seat of power, but that place in the middle of your life where you truly see what's going on. You are living behind your eyes. You are not just hearing the voice in your head telling you what's happening and you're believing it. You can either have the ability to tune it out. That's quiet mind. That's what Buddhism's after. It's ultimately what Jesus referred to as the peace that passes all understanding. This ability to live in a way where you're not just beat to death by that voice in your head screaming at how much you love something or how much you hate it. It tends to run on those lines. So, how we deal with that is we got to get outside of it. We need to understand things about ourselves and our existence, and we need to keep them at the forefront of our minds every day. The two most powerful positions that you can operate from as a human on a daily basis is from mindfulness, which that means to do something with all of your heart from your heart. It has zero to do with if you like the task or not. Mindfulness is a superhuman ability to choose. It's almost like a godlike ability in a sense, because outside of it all, we don't have to act instinctually what our head says. We get to choose how we go about it. Second way is gratefulness. That is the position that all of this is happening for you. It is not happening to you. And I'm going to use this live today to kind of get you to that position of gratefulness to see what's actually happening. So a little prayer that I say on my walk each morning, actually it's more of a song that I sing to myself. I use songs a lot. Is some verbiage I got from Dr. Jeff Spencer, and I've added a little bit of my own to it. And it says, reveal to me reality so that I may see things clearly. And I sing it like this: reveal to me reality, reveal to me reality so that I may see things clearly. All right, that's how I do it in my head. And I just walk and I say that and I accept things along that walk. Right? A cool thing that I like to think about on my walks is how many trees I go by. And the fact that those trees in their leaves have the same exact photoreceptor cells that we do in the back of our eyes. That tree literally sees you when you walk by. Now, it doesn't see you the way you and I see, but it sees you in the way it sees. And in reality, between you and I, we'll never see things the same way because nobody can repeat the same experience twice. It's impossible. Absolutely impossible. The best thing you can do with any experience is to allow it to pass through you. Do not hold on to any of it, whether you enjoy it or don't enjoy it. See it for what it is so that the next time a similar moment rolls around, you continue to not get in your own way. That's what stresses us out so often is really how many new things we experience each day. And the first time you ever experience anything will be the hardest. But also the luck of the draw with what it is you're experiencing. You experience something the first time and you tell yourself you love it. Now, immediately in your mind, you create this experience that if you do it again and it doesn't live up to that, now you don't enjoy it. Instead of letting the second experience of the event stand on its own and truly be what it really is, which is this super magical thing on a day that's never existed before, you live behind this filter in your mind where you're not really seeing. What you're seeing is a picture of what you want it to be, but in front of a picture of what it really is. And when they don't line up, it ruins your day. You get all upset and bent out of shape about it. And you'll curb your experience to doing other things. And so you'll forever be in this position of I like this, I want it, I don't like that, I resist it. You're just bouncing back and forth over and over and over again. And that is literal hell. Like internally, we bounce between heaven inside and hell inside. When you live at the mercy of that voice in your head that's telling you, I love this and I don't love that, and hold on to this and resist that, and it's feeding you things, and it can even feed you sideways things. It'll remind you of the terrible thing through something else. Like you don't need, your brain doesn't need any stimulation even to just put the thought in your head. How many times have you just been existing? And all of a sudden, one of the worst things you could ever think about runs through your mind. Now, you could either fight with that or it'll get all bent out of shape, or you could try to deploy a bunch of positive thoughts, which is a waste of time too. Or you can recognize what the heck just happened, which is, as a human, we are not our minds. We are not our bodies. We are the consciousness. Your consciousness is what learns. This is a beautiful fact that Mickey was pointing out in the lesson recently. It's not your brain that learns. It's your consciousness. Your brain stores information, but it's your consciousness that knows how to see it, read it, and play it before your eyes. It's your consciousness that is telling you all of these things about what's actually happening if you'll pay attention. It's our bodies, that which lets us experience the world, literally an antenna to the world to experience emotions, thoughts, and physical experiences. That this thing relays messages to us, the real us, right? Because you're not your body. You can literally be mutilated down to just existing on a machine with your head still being able to think, and you would still be you. The same you. Your body's different, but you that's experienced it all, that's been there every day of your life, you will still be you. So you're not your body. You are the one experiencing the body. You're the one who gets to wake up and be with it each day. You're the one who's there when it dreams. Cool thing Mickey pointed out, one of the lessons was an idea about consciousness, which is this. Who is it that knows they're dreaming? It's you. It's not a trick question. You're the one who knows that they're dreaming. Who also is it that knows when they wake up the next morning that they didn't dream? Still you. The true consciousness, not the one that talks about like, are we awake or not in the sense of our body being up or down, but the thing that's always there, that's always noticing, it never stops. It doesn't need sleep. It doesn't need food. It doesn't need any of that. It exists purely all the time. It's always there. If you'll take the time to recognize it and say, again, that's reality. The voice in our heads loves to suck us into the story. It loves to really get us to buy in at what's going on, because your mind, your emotions, and your body, they'll all work together in unison, right? Let's pick a situation, right? You smash your thumb with a hammer, physical pain, shoots emotional, and then your brain says, I hate this. Now, simple concept, but whether you hate it or not, it doesn't matter. Buying into how it's making you feel versus the fact that, well, I was building this thing. There's an inherent risk of me smashing my thumb, me freaking out about it. It's not going to be helpful. What did actually happen? Do I need to seek medical treatment? I'm super grateful I live in 2024 and I can really fuck myself up and still go get help. That's reality. And so this talk today, to pull that all down into a concept that I want you to wake up every morning and realize this thing, is What day is it really? We call today Wednesday. So let's take a look at something real quick. All right. Universe is 13.8 billion years old. Okay? This is how long it's been. So give me a benefit of the doubt. We're not going to mess around with leap years. But let's do 13.8 billion years times 365 days a year. You know what day that gives us? 5 trillion 37 billion. And today, we called that Wednesday. And we treated it as if it's this thing that comes around every week. And if it's this thing that's repeatable on August 14th, we happen to give it that thing. And then we happen to call it 2024. Reality is, none of that's real. That's just what we call it today. Humans haven't called it that always throughout history. It's just what we call it right now. Here's what's freaking crazy. 5 trillion 37 billion days went by before today. All 5 trillion 37 billion had to go by in order for today to exist. That's freaking crazy. This is the most magical thing you could experience. It makes it the reality of, oh my God, what can happen during a day? What does life actually look like? What's the universe look like after 5 trillion 37 billion days? Looks like today. It looks like today. This is what it looks like. And that puts us in the ultimate seat of power. We can do what we want with it. When we deal with the reality of what something actually is, then we can live through it well. And that's the whole point. For us, the ones that get to experience all this, just be mindful about what you're experiencing. Grateful that it's happening for you. Having the opportunity to live through it well. We are not meant to hold on to the things we love and, remember them forever. We're not meant to hold on to the things we hate and resist them forever. On a daily basis, we are called to deal with exactly what life brought forth that day. And how can we go about it in a way where we use the fullness of ourselves, of what we can really do to its capacity. And it is limitless. When you look at what humans have done, we've done things nothing else has ever done in the history of the universe. Coming from 13.8 billion years ago, before atoms even existed, to all the things that created atoms, to now all the ways that atoms are added up, right? Each one of us, just a series of atoms in a certain order for a small period of time. And then they will switch and connect to something else and become something else. The part that doesn't change is you, the consciousness that's seeing all of it, that's watching it every day of your life. You've been there every day. You are the only one that experiences life the way you're currently experiencing it. It is preloaded. Every day comes preloaded with all your experiences beforehand. That's why every individual, we can start teaching these concepts as young as you want, but the responsibility of every human is to get square with this fact. Who are you? What makes you up? Where did you come from? What's the story of life that you were given, so you can get intentional about it? And it's about letting go. Life gives you the chance every day to let go. It brings to you all these things that make you feel great, make you feel terrible, make you feel this and that. Let it all go. Experience each moment for the fullness of each moment. Sufficient to the moment is the energy unto itself. We do not need to borrow from ourselves or anything else to enrich the current moment. We get the most out of that by fully participating in it, bringing who we really are, which is these incredible beings, to the forefront of our life every day, so that we can actually live in and create a world that the ancient teachers taught about, the ways of living that they taught about. Buddha's quoted, all of life is suffering. That is not a bad thing. It's not. Because when you look at life, the reality is, how many moments are all the things you ever wanted happening versus all the moments where you're either not getting what you want or what you didn't want happen? Those two far outweigh the things in our head where, oh, we got everything we wanted. So it's not about what we want. It's not about us. We had nothing to do with being here. Two other humans brought us into the world. Whatever experience they provided is what's winding us up and setting us off each day. It's what that voice in your head, it's where all the operating systems that it uses comes from. When you learn to quiet that voice and live apart from it, recognizing that it's not there to tell you what to do and not to do. It's just something to notice in your life. It's part of this experience of being human. You can notice what it says. And in noticing those things it says, you can learn a lot about yourself. Because the first response is fine. It's your response back to it. I've said a lot, how you feel about how you feel, that's the part that's messing you up. The first feeling we get charged with, that's from life itself. That's our natural body doing what it does. That decision we make about it and decide how we're going to feel about how we feel, that's us. You can interrupt that. And that's the goal. Is never to just go along with the story your head tells, but to actually see what's happening, choose the action or inaction you desire, and keep moving with life and the way life moves. I hope that was helpful. I hope it finds who needs it. As I'm on this journey of understanding and finding my message, this is and clarity on it, this is one of the huge things. Life does not have to be this big stressful thing where you're having to chase down your dreams and think and want and all that shit. It's none of that. It's literally about participating in life on a daily basis with what it's giving. You didn't do anything for the 13.8 billion years that happened before today. You get to use everyone you ever experience from here on out as what it really is. It's this magical opportunity that you get to participate in. It's not about how you feel about it. It's not about any of that. It's about experiencing it well, living through it well. You don't have to experience massive amounts of stress. You don't have to. You're choosing to. You don't have to be afraid of all the things you're afraid of. You're choosing to. When we hold on to these moments in life, all they do is fill our minds with thoughts that we can't stop thinking. And now it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You're no longer seeing the world for what it is. You're putting that filter in front of you and seeing the world through it. Remove the filter. See it for what it really is. And you'll notice life's not going by. Time's not going by. It's adding up. Each moment you get is this beautiful thing. We all get different amounts with different experiences. While you're awake, what are you going to do with it? So long from the shed.